Hello and welcome to another edition of Paul Mills Photo. In this blog I've decided to do a brief talk about Sigma lenses that are available in the Canon mount, but a lot of this will apply to you Nikon users as well. So let's start off with the Sigma 70-300 f4 to 5.6 DG macro Canon lens. You can pick it up really cheaply at £96 off Amazon. This is a lens I had at college for a long time, and you can get half macro life-size images from this lens, and if you stick an extension tube on it, which is basically a hollow tube, you will be able to get one-to-one life images. So it's a fantastic lens if you want something that can do macro as well as take general telephoto pictures. Obviously it's not going to be the sharpest lens out there in terms of its telephoto capabilities, but for the price I don't think you'd be too disappointed with its performance. So moving on. Now this is a lens I had for a little while, which is the Sigma 120-400 f4.5 to 5.6 APO DG, and it's a really good lens. Obviously it's not quite on par with Canon's offering, but it's close, and because it's the shorter version of, say, the 50-500 or the 150-500, those lenses were known to be quite soft at the long end, but this lens isn't bad, and I would highly recommend it if you're looking for something that's a lot cheaper than the Canon 100-400 lens. Basically, it's 3 times more expensive to get the Canon version of this lens. So it's certainly a lens to consider if you're on a tight budget. You can pick these up. There's a seller here selling one used for £479. You'll probably be able to pick up a new one for around £5.50, something like that. And it is a really handy lens to get. It's quite sharp. Obviously it's not sharp as a Prime or one of the Canon offerings, but at the end of the day it all comes down to how much you're prepared to spend, really. So moving on. Okay, more recent developments with Sigma lenses. They've brought out the 150-600 contemporary lens. Again, prices seem to be going up again, because I know for a fact this was £740 probably 3 months ago, so it does seem to be a common theme that lenses are going up in price. This is the Sigma Contemporary, part of their new line of global vision lenses. It is quite sharp. I did compare it to the 100-400 Canon lens, and it's not far off the sharpness, and it's about 2.2 kilograms in weight. Really nice lens. I really love the feel of this lens. It's something you can carry around. It's got optical stabilization as well, so it's a really good lens to get hold of, and I would highly recommend it. In fact, I liked it so much I bought it myself, so it's a really nice lens. Moving on. Obviously the sister lens, which is the 150-600 5 to f5 to 6.3 DG OS HSM lens for Canon. Basically it's a sport version. It's weather sealed all the way through. It is quite a bit heavier at 3.2 kilograms in weight, and obviously the front element is a bit bigger as well, because it's 105mm opposed to the contemporary, which is 95mm. So filters are quite pricey for this lens. It's very heavy, very durable. It's dust proof and splash proof. Obviously when manufacturers say that, it don't mean that you can't get any dust or any water in the lens. It just means it's resistant to those those problems, basically. But this lens is really nice. It's just as sharp, if not a little bit sharper than the contemporary, between 500 and 600 millimeters. So it's a fantastic lens. I have done some videos on it, so check those out. But it is quite a heft to carry around, so you might find it a bit too heavy unless you're using a tripod and monopod. Nice lens. The price has gone up though, again. It wasn't that long ago, it was £1,200 on here, on Amazon. Now it's £1,329, so it has gone up in price. I suspect it's got something to do with the new Tamron G2 lens that's come out, which is around, I think it's around $1,350, something like that. So, you know, it's a toss up between this and the G2 lens. I'd probably go with the Sigma Sport because it's basically more weather sealed than the G2 is. And if you've got unlimited budget, which is £6,000 for the new Sigma 500mm f4 Sport DGOS HSM lens. This is the, if you're wondering what this is the actual previous version to that lens, which is the f4.5 500 prime. Obviously, if I had the money, I'd probably buy this new Sport lens. There's numerous advantages to this particular lens. One of the main ones being optical stabilization. You can pre-focus different points with this lens and it'll memorize where you're focused. You can turn beeps off. It's got a lovely tripod mount. It's a really good lens. There's a few videos on YouTube that can tell you more about it, but if you've got quite a bit of money, you might want to consider that particular lens for wildlife in particular, because obviously with it being brand new, it will be a fantastic lens. So here's a roundup of Sigma lenses I would recommend. Hope you enjoyed this video and thank you for watching.